Welcome back to the InherAlchemist TV. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look into Melody Sheree. Before we get started, please like the video, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel and that you have your notification bells on. So, I've been seeing a lot of stuff going in the timeline. I think she did a live today. And then there was a conversation about Kimmy. I think we covered that in Kimmy's reading. Then there was the issue of this headline or this episode description of Destiny saying that Melody was grooming her. And listen, that's a lot. That's a heavy load to handle. So I wanted to look into the cards, see how she's holding up, see where her head is at. I did see some headlines about her going live. I haven't had a chance to watch it. I usually don't really watch the social media of it all, but I do watch the show. But yeah, so I thought we'd dip into the cards. Now, I did have some stuff come out in the, I don't know, it's like a mini spread. And the vibe of this mini spread, I want to talk about, and then we'll go ahead and start reading the full spread. But before that, with this whole threesome thing, let us not be so green. Let us not be so green and think we know what everybody is about. We have to keep an open mind. We have to keep a healthy perspective because we don't know any of these people. And it is very common for married couples, right? Put yourself in the mind of T.I. and Tiny. It's very common for married couples to seek a third party for sexual activities. It's not even abnormal. It's not anything to be shamed about. Now, the topic of the word grooming, that's a bit deep because grown, mature women are capable of making their own decisions, but it's not an easy way to approach a woman if you and her man want to use her for a threesome or want to involve her. You run the risk of making it uncomfortable for your friend, yet you want to use your friend because you trust that person. Hold on. You know, or you feel at least you can at least warm up to that person, right? Let's not even get into how a man that's cheating on you and has you competing for his fidelity or to make him leave his other woman, you know, they get so caught up in their ego that they start to try to drain a woman as best they can. My girlfriend, she went through this with this guy she was dating, right? So she's dating this guy for years, like 6 or 7 years, not married. All of a sudden, she gets a phone call from this girl saying that the guy that she's dealing with is her guy. So she breaks down. This is my good girlfriend. So she breaks down. And first she's imagining all these things about this other woman. Oh, she must be beautiful. She must have the body of a goddess, to where she's like driving herself crazy, imagining that he's with this woman that's a million times better than her, right? So she stalks the guy. She's a Leo. Of course, Leo stalk, okay? Let's just put that on the table, right? You ain't a lion for no reason. So she goes and she sees the guy and the girl coming out of his mom's house. And this girl is like overweight, you know, like just the most, right? And so she's like, oh, hell no. So that only fueled her more. So he gets in the car with the girl. She gets behind him. She starts following him. And then he gets out of the car and he threatens her. And he kicks her car. A person he's known for damn near 10 years kicks her car and tells her to get away from them. That only gave the other woman fuel. You know what I mean? That only made her feel like she was the chosen one. And to her defense, yeah, because my mom told me, you know, if a man is fighting you for her, then that's his woman, not you. Right? So this other girl then takes it upon herself to start trolling my girlfriend. You know, she had a little short haircut and she tried to say like, oh, you got the single mother starter pack look and all this stuff. You know, just really just get in her head. And then my girlfriend started to tamper with her looks. You know what I mean? She started to try to match this girl's energy because she was thrown off. She had never been really, you know, she's always been that girl. So she had never really had somebody insult her or make her feel inferior. You know what I mean? And I don't know if it brought out a competition in her or her desire to succeed or what. All I know is that she started to try to morph into what the girl was. And if not what the girl was directly, she was trying to morph into something that she thought that he would choose. Because again, she thought he wasn't choosing her because he was choosing this other girl. To the point where she started sleeping with him on the side of him being with that girl. And he was trying to use those opportunities to get her to do a threesome. How do I know? Because I was the person that she wanted to try to do it with. The thing is, I already knew she was in love with this guy. And I knew that she was having a momentary lapse in judgment because she had been losing her mind over this situation. And in her desperation, right, because you get confused, you don't know what's going on, you don't know the real from the fake, you're questioning the entire relationship, it all becomes a blur. But she wanted to please him, you know what I mean? And then if that meant having a threesome or finding somebody or getting freaky or stepping her sex game up, then that's what she was going to try to do. Now then, when you say, well, how would she go about it? Well, it starts with casual mentions. Then she might send you a picture of her and him doing something, or she might say something that he did was freaky, or might talk about the size of his penis. Things to try to like throw little feelers out there to see what you bite off and what you don't bite off. You know what I mean? And so that's how it happened. So am I going to sit up and say, oh, I was groomed? I never did it, for one, because I knew she was out of her mind, because she's not no lesbian. Like, I know her. And I knew she was just having a moment because she was going through some shit. But I would never use that opportunity to say, oh, you guys were grooming me for a threesome and you were doing this and you were doing that. No, even if they wanted to approach you for a threesome, that's still not grooming you. You know what I mean? Even if they wanted to have my other girlfriend, and listen, she's a Delta, so all y'all up nose up in the air people, don't talk crazy, because these are sorority sisters, the overly educated and the overly sexed of the black community. Let's talk about it. But anyways, she's a regular third party to couples, right? Not paid. It's just her voyeurism. I don't know. She's a Libra. It's just how she is. I say that to say that this is 2025, and couples, they try different things. Women, when they get into weak spots over men, your mind gets so distorted and that's when men capitalize off of that weakness in you. You know what I mean? So it's not far-fetched to me. I don't think it's anything to be ashamed about either. But at the same time, it's not something that I would want somebody to know, or that I would want somebody to express about me publicly either. Yeah. So anyways, yeah, that's my thoughts on the whole threesome thing. I don't think I need to read it because it doesn't matter. And if it comes out, I'm not going to say anything about it because it's private. It's private. It's a private thing between the people that were involved, right? So the mini spread that popped out, because I was getting a lot of poppers, and I did a reading on it, but my microphone, this was like 2 or 3 days ago, but my microphone had messed up. I might post it later, but I don't know, but the sound quality wasn't good, so I decided not to post it. Decided to take a cool down, work on some other things. Just because when I'm having mishaps, I'm learning that, okay, that's the time to reclaim your energy. You know what I mean? Just take it as a sign. But in that spread, I saw that it was harvest time. We got the 7 of Pentacles. I remember that spread so vividly. And it was talking about maybe it was a time for Melody to ask for more money or to up the ante when it comes to her staying on the show, or if she chooses to continue with the show or not, right? I also saw maybe there's some problems with mold in the house. I don't know if there's allergies or breathing issues. And I'm seeing that in this spread as well. So I don't know why that's coming up. There was also a judgment there that was not going to go in her favor, or something with the court system did not turn out the way she wanted it to turn out. What else did I saw? I saw that she was trying to find herself. The high priestess was there in reverse, or connect with herself, or just find deeper meaning within herself. It also is showing this vibe of her kind of getting lost in her character of the show or her character in social media to the point where she was like losing sight or losing touch, or even if she ever knew or never knew who she really was. And it was interesting because I thought about it. I was listening to an actor, I can't remember who it was, but he was talking about how he played his role on this movie so well that he had to go to therapy to break character. Like, that's how deeply engrossed. And I think I've seen a lot of actors or actresses go through these type of experiences where they had to go to therapy to break character. And so the overall message or vibe in that spread was telling me that Melody was having a hard time breaking character and remembering who she really is, what she's really about. Could be lost in the ambition of it all, could be lost in the play of it all, putting it together of it all. But in any event, I felt as though the cards were like trying to, I don't know, maybe pull her back or encourage some isolation period. Yeah, or a break. Shit, you know what I mean? A break. I know she's growing. She's young. She's not even yet 40, right? So we all go through our growth spurts. Being a star doesn't change that. Everybody has their things, right? Our proverbial crosses to bear, if you will. Yeah, so that's what came out essentially. And then, of course, it went deeper and deeper. But that was just the gist of it, or what I can remember. I recorded it. It's bad quality. I may post it for those who like to read the transcripts, but if not, we'll just chalk it up to the game. So, having said that, we got a new spread in light of all the things that have developed just in 2 days. I mean, the turnaround, the turnover in this sector is just, how can you even keep up? Especially if you have other things going on, right? But yeah, if I haven't said it already, please like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And as usual, make sure that your notification bell's on. So this reading starts off definitely talking about the show. We have the star card here. And then we also have the 9 of Wands. The star card is literally about being a star in its most simplest form. And so we're looking at you being the center of focus, center of attention, or at least trying to be if you're not. Or your role in something being the nucleus, the most pivotal part of something being in full focus, right? But it's also a card of good luck, healing. In her last spread, I saw that the harvest was here. It's harvest time. It's go time. I actually saw that she was really comfortable by way of her hard work. You know what I mean? It's allowed her to have a comfortable and stable position in whatever it is direction that she wants to go in, right? The 9 of Wands here is in reverse, and this is talking about constantly battling and being tired of it. Just being tired of it. Just having your energy depleted from the fight, from the battle. You know what I mean? I feel like it is a me against the world type of feeling. And it definitely with that star card, me against my cast, right? And I feel like she's losing her energy. You know what I mean? A lot of that spark, a lot of that tenacity or inner fire or spice, you know, that she normally has through this battle. Me against the world, back against the wall, windmilling at you all. She is starting to lose energy. You know what I mean? And it's starting to dim her light just a little bit, if you will. Definitely. I feel like she needs to find a different way to do things now. You know what I mean? I feel like that's what this is called for. And really it has to do with a lot of healing and reconciliation. The star card is about reconciliation, hope, healing. And then the 9 of Wands is about the way you've been going is wearing nobody out but you. And so you need to find a different way to reconcile all these pieces, right? Yeah, definitely. I feel like it's time to let it go, maybe, whatever it is. Look beyond. Look to the future. You know what I mean? It's time to lay down your burdens, lay down your battle, if you will. If you are going to do battle, though, I feel like the 9 of Wands in reverse is caution, is like telling you you need to be more actively a part of this if you're going to be a part of it. Because I feel like when the Nine of Wands is upright, you're on guard, you're on defense, you're ready. But when I feel like when it's in reverse, it's saying that you need to be that way. Like you either actively engage this process or get out the way. That's what I'm getting from that. You know what I mean? If you're too tired, if you're exhausted, if you find yourself just throwing up your hands every deep sighing, you know what I mean? Let that be one thing. But if you're going to do it, then you're going to have to do it right. You're going to have to put yourself in it. You know what I mean? It ain't no half stepping, at least right now at this time, for surely, right? I feel like the Star card too, with this Nine of Wands in reverse, is cautioning about mental health. And maybe to take care of your mental health, you know, continue with, I don't know if this is something you stop, but continue with your meditation. Continue to guard against the spirit of depression, anger, remorse, resentment, suicide. All of those are spirits. Continue to war against those. You know what I mean? Now you have the Hangman in the reverse, in the behind the energy, and then you have the Justice in reverse in the above energy. And I feel like this represents some type of karma, because I have the Six of Pentacles there, which represents the give and take of it all. And I'm looking at the connection to these cards as in you reap what you sow, or you get what you give type of energy is what I'm feeling for this. And there's a sense with this Six of Pentacles and this Hangman in reverse of you feeling, or Melody feeling, like she's some type of martyr, or like she's sacrificed herself so that all these people could get ahead. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's saying that let's not confuse sacrifice with selfishness, because you didn't do it with the intention of getting them ahead. That was maybe a byproduct. But with the Hangman in reverse, your intention was somewhat selfish. You know what I mean? The Hangman in reverse can also represent a false spirituality or false prophets. Maybe these are people that you consult with, or that give you information or something like that. You know what I mean? Because it's almost like you have I feel like it's almost like you have a obsession with appearing holier than thou. You know what I mean? And the Bible says your prophets will be judged the harshest. Your teachers will be judged the harshest. So if you're setting yourself as that example in the name of God, and that's not really what it is, then yeah, your judgment is harshest, right? And sometimes judgment comes in the form of cognitive dissonance. It comes in the form of anxiety. It comes in the form of not getting right or being comfortable with self, right? When you have the Hangman in reverse, it's saying that you're leading with this spirituality or this godliness, but that at the end of the day, your motivations are just superficial and materialistic and selfish. And it has nothing to do with what you do for people and how much you sacrifice. It doesn't, because even if you did, it wasn't for them. It was for you. What they turned it into, but that's not where it started at. And I feel like that's what's coming out with this Hangman. I feel like there's like like I said, an obsession or preoccupation with material things, and not really putting that much into your spiritual development. Maybe you ain't been to church since Hep was a pup, but you bang the Bible, or you talk about God a lot, but knowing that you don't serve God in any type of way. And the Six of Pentacles is there. That can represent charity. So we're not saying that you don't do for others, but we're saying that right now there's no direct connection or direct line to God, right? So you may need to go to church for whatever reason. Maybe you need to get your 4 kids and your ex-husband, and all of you guys go and present yourself to God and see what happens, right? The Hangman to me also represents a persecution, or being nailed to the cross, if you will. You know what I mean? Um, and not liking it. I don't think she's too happy with the things that people are saying about her, the judgment that people are issuing towards her, the gossip, the slander. She's not happy with it. And again, I'm getting a heavy sense of obsession or just a preoccupation with it, or something where it's giving me like a blackout or blank out energy, and you're not looking at the situation from a wise perspective. You're not looking at the situation with grace. You're not looking at it like you were maybe just not too long ago when you were meditating. I don't know. I seen some meditating. Right? Now you're focused on what the chatter is. You are heavily obsessed with your ops. You're heavily obsessed with what they have to say, and you're losing the wisdom of the situation. Maybe she's normally wise. What is she, a Scorpio? No, that's not a snake. What's a snake? I don't know. I was thinking wisdom, serpent energy. I know people like to use snake as a slithering backstabber, but no, that's not how I look at a snake. I look at snakes as wisdom. Yeah, deep wisdom. But yeah, no, you're not looking at it like that. Maybe because, again, you're just maybe feeling sorry for yourself even a little bit. There's a sense of self-pity with this Hangman in reverse. Especially when I think about you being obsessed with what people are saying about you that you know don't like you. They're doing what they're supposed to do, right? For the position that they've chosen, right? I feel like there's some forgiveness that needs to take place. You may hold a grudge. You may hold on to your feelings about something, but it may be just creating further obstacles for you. Something unjustly happened to her for sure. Something wasn't right. Something wasn't right for sure. You know what I mean? But the get back is not for you. You know what I mean? It's not you who's supposed to be administering this judgment. What you're supposed to do is let the wheel turn on its own. And I feel a lot of her striving or struggling and trying to turn the wheel herself. And that may be part of what's creating maybe like the obstacles for her. Or I don't know, because I got justice and judgment both in reverse. And that's a karmic cycle. You know what I mean? Something's not fair or something's not going to feel fair. Like I said, I feel like there's a court situation that did not or will not go in her favor. And she's not going to like it. She's not going to like it. Because she's starting to feel with this me against the world attitude or me against the world mentality. I feel like she's starting to feel that life isn't being fair to her. You know what I mean? Now, obviously, the justice card is here. And the justice card says that's not the case. You know what I mean? That may be how you feel, but that's not exactly the case. You know what I mean? Just because we feel it doesn't make it true. But I feel like whatever happens, it was objective, or the person, the judge who was looking at it was looking at it objectively, and they made the decision. But that judgment in reverse that I saw also told me that Melody is facing some type of discrimination. Now, I don't know if that discrimination has to do with a lawsuit, civil suit, work suit, or if it's just a court or judge that's discriminating against her in her role. I saw the Empress and the Six of Cups. I thought that had to do with maybe the custody case. But she's facing some level of discrimination. You know what I mean? Or there's a situation where there's a bias or whatever's metered out to her is like severe. You know what I mean? But it's not, it's coming from the lawmaker itself or the judge itself. It's not, you know what I mean? It's not like somebody else is instigating this. This is the court system itself that's doing this. You know what I mean? The justice in reverse does say that this is karma, though, for whatever it is. So look to your past. Right your wrongs. When we call for justice and judgment, we ask for our own hearts to be judged too. right? For all you grave dwellers who like to say, I'm in the cemetery doing this and this and that. No, you should only be there asking for your heart to be judged so that you can clear your karma and be light as a feather so that you can manifest clearly. You know what I mean? If you're not willing to be judged, then don't expect anybody else to be, their actions to be judged, or mercy or justice, or you to get fair, people to be punished. None of that's going to happen until you accept your part first. You know what I mean? I feel like Melody might be trying to understand what's going on or why unfair things are happening to her, but this is not a time of understanding. That's why the High Priestess was in reverse. This is a time for you to make peace with the fact that you're not going to have all the answers. You know what I mean? But it's also saying, look to your past. And you got the Six of Pentacles in the past. And that's saying that you gave something and now you're getting it back, whatever it is. Right? You can't come out on top of every situation. You know what I mean? But that's what the wheel is about. How well do you handle the bottom as you did the top? How well do you do that? And I feel like sometimes her actions are hasty, if you will, and they kind of bring more harm than good. You know what I mean? Now, this is not to say nothing is going on with her. It's just to say that your response to things, I don't know if there's like an issue with a temper. I haven't really seen her in action, or as far as like anger is concerned, I don't know. But you got the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Swords. These are both hot-tempered cards. And to me, it just shows me somebody who maybe has a little bit of an immaturity with that Knight of Wands for sure. And that immaturity causing you to get into fights or causing you to take on fights that maybe you're not really ready for. Because this is not king and queen energy. This is more tantrum type energy, if you will. You know what I mean? Or you being hot-headed or having a bad temper, but that being as a result of your immaturity. I feel like it's like a situation where everybody around you is growing up. And you kind of, it's like giving me that Arrested Development, especially with that Hangman and the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Swords and that Fool card in reverse, giving me big Arrested Development energy. Yeah, there's an immaturity there. And it could be emotional and it could be actual, right? There's a tendency to exaggerate things or be overly theatric. That's also a kind of byproduct of that immaturity, because I feel like it's a matter of you being that way at the wrong time. You know what I mean? Where it's not in the right context. Yeah, so to me, it's like you, exaggerating. That's the exaggerating. Whether, you're saying what happened, what injustices occurred, what's going on with you. You're putting a 2 on a 10. And ain't nothing wrong with that. Listen, don't nothing lose the fat when I'm talking either. I'll be exaggerating too. Okay, that's my confession. I'll be exaggerating. But you kind of know when I'm doing it, because I'm just very hyper, if you will. You know what I mean? You're going to be like, girl. But yeah. Now, not to take away from anything, because these knights are brave. They ready. You know what I mean? They will fight. And they like to dominate. Don't get me wrong. So I'm not taking anything away from the strength or the power of what you have going on. But you do need to grow up. You do need to grow up. And it could be, in a way, that being smothered by these mature older women is insulating you, or being overprotected. Have you guys ever heard that being overprotected kind of stunts your growth? Or being sheltered kind of stunts your growth, keeps you from being able to tolerate the real world in a lot of sense, right? Even if we move through life as adults, we pay our bills, we go to work, we give birth to children, we get married. It doesn't change who you are on the inside, right? And I feel like I said, on the inside, maybe because she's so heavily protected, it's keeping her from building that tolerance needed to grow up into a real woman. Yeah, maybe so. You got to let people touch fire and get burnt a little bit. You gotta let people facilitate their life lessons so that they can get to the blessings. But to be just stuck in the same teenage mentality forever, at some point you gotta look to your elders, right? This Knight of Swords is about potential, though. Both of these knights are about potential and the great potential that lies within her. As far as this cast being able to take her down, yeah, like I said, she might be a little sleep on the job. I saw some loneliness. I did. I saw her needing to get active. I did. But guess what? Her head is stronger than all of their heads. You know what I mean? And if and when she wants them to scatter, she can make them scatter. Definitely. Because she has I don't know. I'm looking at these two knights as intimidation strategy or tactics or something like that. You know what I mean? Maybe it's the way she's talking, or even maybe she'll insinuate something, or I don't know. I guess, like the serpent in the Garden of Eden, whispering something here and there. But I feel like she has this ability to insinuate threats or something like that. You know what I mean? And they are intimidating, but that's her way of competing. I don't think that I don't know if she has a leg to stand on for real. But she does like to dominate. You know what I mean? Definitely. But again, you got to grow up. You got to mature, because while everybody else has been struggling and suffering through what they've been going through as a result of the quote unquote fans, they're also building stronger backbones, building different strategies, different ways of doing things. They're strengthening their game, their chess game. That's why they're flipping it on you. They're doing you on you. But you aren't having those opportunities because you're not challenging yourself, or you're not allowing yourself to be challenged, or people not allowing you to be challenged and to see how you show up and how you get creative. You know what I mean? It's like, I think of it this way with older and younger sons. Yeah, your oldest son is used to dominating because he's the older big brother. But your younger son may be used to being bullied, so he develops more resilience and strength and perseverance, whereas your older son may have a weakness of ego because he's never tested in certain ways. You know what I mean? And that's how I'm looking at the relationship between Melody and her cast. And I wonder what that has to do with Carlos, because Carlos always says the cast is like his children. You know what I mean? But it's like your children shouldn't be pit against each other either, though, at the same time. You know what I mean? I feel like, I don't know. I feel like these knights here, I don't know, I feel like they represent some type of ambition, some ambitious attitude, or I don't know, there's like a strong, I feel like somebody's taking off more than they can chew. You know what I mean? So when I say ambitious, I mean in terms of taking on something, but not realizing how strong what's coming against you actually is, because there is something coming against her, maybe out of nowhere, but with a certain force. It's giving like the force of wind. When I look at these knights, they seem to be getting blown back, so I know something coming towards her is strong, but I also see her as I don't see her as backing down. I see her charging too, but her charging is not, it's not skill, it's immaturity. It's more of a reflex and a temper, and what do they call it? A reaction as opposed to a response. You know what I mean? And so again, right, that kind of takes away the strategy, and maybe there's a need for more strategy, because there's no king and queen energy. There's nothing sophisticated here. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's what you kind of need. You know what I mean? She's looking for a new start, or to release herself from something, but that's not the best thing right now. I don't know if that's a money thing or what. You know what I mean? I feel like there's definitely some recklessness and her not considering the consequences of things. But I think that's also due to her trying to not even embrace her villain role, but really embracing her role as an outcast and saying, Well, I'm free to do what I want to do and say what I want to say and cross who I want to cross, because I'm an outsider now. So now that I'm on the outside, I ain't got to worry about protecting or pleasing or appeasing nobody. You know what I mean? But that's not the fool in reverse would say that's not the right thing to do. You know what I mean? Definitely. Either with this show, there's either going to be a successful outcome or it's going to be a total wash. Now, like I said, I feel like she's in, I don't know if there's a contract negotiation or what, but it's saying with that Seven of Pentacles, this is a good time to ask for more money. You know what I mean? Definitely. However, some of the stuff you've been doing, you know, again, that Fool card and all these nights, you know, again, you need to grow up and woman up, right? Like I said, don't let money and business and property and motherhood fool you into believing that you're a woman. And I feel like that's why a lot of us black women don't ever develop womanhood, because we start taking on all those other roles before we become women. You know what I mean? The cart before the horse, if you will. And so your womanhood becomes a after. Like, I'm a mom, I'm a businesswoman, I'm an actor, I'm a doctor. But yeah, you're all that, but you never said you was a woman. You know what I mean? Put a little bit into developing your womanhood. All of us, right? Not just her, all of us. But this is saying even more so that, you know, you are your own demise. I don't know how you say it, like falling on your own sword or something. I don't know about that. But the Fool in reverse, especially with the High Priestess in reverse, it's about like you being conceited, vain, selfish, lazy, you know what I mean, and immature. You know what I mean? And which is leading to recklessness towards others. And listen, that might be coming out. You know what I mean? So if that's a part of yourself that you would have preferred to be hidden or disguised, it's leaking out, where people are starting to get a more clear view of what your dark side really is. You know what I mean? The Ten of Pentacles, another card here that's also in reverse. So could be like, you know, family issues. Well, we know that. We know they're in court for that. So we're not going to even go down that road. But the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, and it's in your hopes and fears, and this is about you losing your blessings. You know what I mean? So get it together. Get it together. You know what I mean? There's definitely a coldness here. You know what I mean? And again, that could be from being, you know, in your own head, in your own mind. So yeah, I don't know. Now, the reading is closing out with this Devil card. But the Devil is in reverse. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's giving me a vibe of you overcoming. Yeah, it might be something that you're tempted to do. The devil might be on one shoulder and an angel might be on another. Believe it or not, I first heard that analogy from a boyfriend I was dealing with. And he was like being like, I don't know, he was giving me the vibe of like he's always faced with a decision, like to do good or do bad when it comes to the relationship. You know what I mean? And he's like, man, it's like a little devil on my shoulder. I'm like, damn, like, just be free, my brother. Just do you. You know, never have that kind of pressure. But I feel like that's the kind of pressure Melody has. I feel like she can always go two ways with it. Now, we did see earlier in the spread that you was playing holier than thou, but that you was really in the flesh with it. So could be that tempting force is winning out. Could be. Right? But I feel like you'll overcome the devil on your shoulder. I feel like you will. Especially with the Devil card in reverse. You know what I mean? Now, I feel like you get tempted. And like I said, it's easy to get tempted. It's a strong force in this sector. That's why I wanted to start doing collective sector readings. It's easy to get drawn towards that negative side. But you got to stand strong and realize that this is your actual life. And every decision you make plays a part in who you're going to be in the next minute, hour, day, week. And you need a vision, and you need to start making choices that are in alignment with that vision so that one day you can live it out. You know what I mean? And stay focused. Don't be weakened. This is showing like your will being weakened. Even if you did start out as a good guy, now evil is starting to win. Oh, it's weakening your will. You starting to get tempted to go down to the low side. And you need to correct that. You need to get up out of there. You know what I mean? And wake up and detach yourself from a lot of this unhealthy shit that comes in the name of love or support or money or etc. It's not what it is. It's not what it is. I also feel like with the Ten of Pentacles here in this Devil in reverse, this is talking about the divorce, and the Justice card is there in reverse. Like I said, I don't feel like whatever decision happens in court is going to be, she's not going to be happy with it. Now, it may not be bad. She may not lose, but she's not going to get it the way she thinks she is or the way she wants it. But yeah, anyways, that's what I got on this late night spread. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I need to drop my other videos. I've been tied up. I thought I dropped one, and I was like, where everybody at? And it turned out I never even released the video. So I have to release that. But until then, let me know what you guys think of this reading down in the comments. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Don't forget to smash that like button. Peace.